Good evening and welcome. You're watching Trending Tonight with me, Sanket Upadhyay. Now, apart from Jammu and Kashmir and the big meeting that the Prime Minister hosted, there is another big story which needs attention. And that is on what decision is the right decision as far as reining in big tech is concerned. For instance, Twitter. Now, it is no one's case that there should be no law in a country. Yes, there should be the law of the land. All companies or every individual must abide by those rules. But how much of implementation of those rules is too much? You know of a big Twitter versus government fight? Now, there is a matter which we will talk about later on the show related to Uttar Pradesh, the incident of Loni in Ghaziabad. And Twitter officials were summoned to Ghaziabad. But then Twitter moved court. And the court granted some form of relief to Twitter. However, the matter has now shifted to courts. Is this the ultimate destiny as far as handling of cases is concerned? Are we handling the issue of making people abide by law in the appropriate method? And more importantly, at a time when we are struggling with a life versus livelihood debate, is railroading or implementing decisions by force the best way forward? These are just some questions that are being asked of the government as it plans to impose what it says is the rule of law. Let's listen in first of all, before we kickstart this important discussion, to what the chief of FICCI, Mr. Uday Shankar, had to say in an interview yesterday. We asked him this question on what he feels about this confrontation between WhatsApp and government, confrontation between Twitter as well as government. This is what he had to say. You are aware of all that is happening between WhatsApp and government and Twitter and government. This is also associated with international investment and the sentiment in the country. I want to know your views. How is this issue being handled and how should it be handled?
Not everything is a criminal activity. And I do have a point of view on this, individual criminal liabilities that are being put on the executives. That flies in the face of Prime Minister's desire to improve the ease of doing business, decriminalizing the conduct of business. There are criminal activities in business and there are non-criminal activities in business. That distinction must be made, and that is a very important one. And to your point about, investment sentiment globally, those are the kind of things where we need to be very sensitive, that we put the right robust processes, but we make sure that they do not end up giving very scary signals.
All right, let's now straight away deep dive into a discussion. We've got Geeta Bhatt, political analyst, supports the RSS and the BJP. Adil Singh Boparai, spokesperson of the Congress Party. N.S. Napinai, Supreme Court advocate and founder of Cyber Sathi. Thank you very much. In just a short moment, we'll be joined in by two other guests. Let's begin with you, Ms. Napinai, first. The matter eventually had to reach courts. The way it was headed, it was very clear that it will reach courts. It has, right? A matter in Uttar Pradesh being heard by a court in Karnataka. Having said that, what do you think is the best way forward here? It's no one's case that Twitter should not exist in this country. It is also ideally should be no one's case that there should be no rules to monitor Twitter or social media. Then what should be done?
Thank you for the question. The first issue is what is before the Karnataka High Court, unfortunately, is just about interim anticipatory bail. That is not really going to decide this fracas between government and Twitter. The primary issue that we are really looking at in terms of the government and Twitter issue is that, we need responsible implementation of rule of law from both sides. There is a specific legal framework that is provided for, which clearly mandates that if a government order is issued, an intermediary has to comply with it, and where they fail to comply with it, they lose their protection under Section 79 or the immunity. This is parliament-made law. This is not executive law as is being portrayed. And this is way before the intermediary guidelines of 2021. Again, there seems to be a lot of misconception on this understanding that it goes to the original act as was amended in 2008, which is when intermediaries really got a safe harbor in India. From the police's side, the law again necessitates that a notice under 79 has to be given if a takedown is warranted, and it is only when a legally sustainable notice to that effect is given that failure to comply with it becomes a violation, which in turn then results in the intermediary losing their immunity. So this is the balance that the law strikes, but we have to ensure that this balance is also carried out in practical implementation.
Okay, very significant. Adil Singh Boparai, how would you respond? I mean, there is this whole angle of international investments, investment sentiment in this country, but also the point of following the rule of law. An argument cannot be built, and Twitter has had run-ins with the governments the world over, where they try to, because of this grey area on how to handle technology, refuse to comply by local rules.
Well, Sanket, let's not miss the woods for the trees. The intermediary rules are merely a pretext by the BJP to control and strangulate social media. And this flows out of the BJP's fascist mindset to control dissemination of information. Because if you control all mediums and channels of communication and dissemination of information, you control people's ability to think on issues. The BJP has been fairly successful, and I must concede, they have been fairly successful in emasculating almost every institution in this country. Over the past several months, there has been outcry and public pouring of anger on social media, and this is bothering the Bharatiya Janata Party. There were dead bodies floating in the Ganges. There were SOS appeals made on Twitter and other forms of social media for oxygen, and all that is bad press for the BJP. The BJP has nothing, if one tries to justify this, saying these are benign rules or these have been framed with the purpose of ensuring better enforcement and compliance, I think they're fooling the country. The BJP clearly wants to control and subjugate these social media conglomerates. And the basic bone of contention which the Congress party has been advocating is the vagueness. What have been framed are intermediary rules in pursuance of Section 79. This is delegated legislation or executive lawmaking. The problem is the vagueness of rules, because whenever you have vague criteria, the executive is prone, or there is a higher proclivity to indulge in arbitrariness. That's number one. Number two, why should Mr. Modi decide if the content which has been put by Sanket Upadhyay is conducive or not? Let the courts of this country decide. Let there be fast-track courts. Let there be a direction to the magistrate to decide this expeditiously. But why should the Delhi police...
Okay, but Adil Boparai, you would agree that while there is vagueness, as you say, as you put it, in the manner in which this law has been drafted or guidelines have been drafted, you do not rule out the need to have certain rules.
Well, most certainly mechanisms have to be created, and those mechanisms need to be effective. I mean, there is no quarrel with that proposition. But please understand, the BJP is doing this. Please see their track record over the past 7 years. They have controlled a significant section of the mainstream media. Ask any person walking on the street. The problem is they are unable to control social media. They are unable to control dissemination of information on social media. So therefore, they bring in the intermediary rules as a pretext. This is their strict policy. You fall in line, or we will invoke executive fiat.
Okay.
Again, I reiterate, why should Mr. Modi decide? Let the courts decide.
Okay, Jitin Jain as well as Professor Geeta Bhatt. Jitin Jain first. How would you respond, Jitin Jain? I mean, see, eventually this matter had to reach courts. Adil Singh Boparai says that you would bring in arbitrary rules because you want to rein in social media so that they conform and don't question the government.
Oh, we can definitely see the track records of BJP for 7 years and Congress record for 50 years. Every political party of every government in place always wants a favorable narrative. Some are able to do it, and those who fail end up blaming the rules. So, I mean, all politicians, hamam mein sab nange hain. So we should just move away from the political debate because the rules and laws what today Boparai Sahab is claiming is strangulation of free speech and media 66A, which was struck down by Supreme Court, or this Section 69. All this legislations were bought by the Congress government. They continued in the BJP government, and I can bet rules which are bought by BJP government will continue in the Congress governments also. It is very easy to have a political brick fight, but look at the larger issue. I think the Loni case. What has done, and as Napinai rightly said, that matter before the High Court is about the interim bail. But there is a fundamental question we must ask, and High Court has been completely fair. I think in times of pandemic, if a person is cooperating, if he is willing to appear via video conferencing, I mean, that's fine. Don't insist on calling him physically when the Supreme Court itself is hearing matter in a virtual mode. Why insist a person to travel from Bangalore to a Loni Thana? I mean, you could have summoned him anywhere 2 months later, but in the times of pandemic, I think court has been fair that if he's cooperating, willing to appear via video conferencing, allow him to be, cooperative. There is no need to coerce him. But the larger question is, if Twitter MD can move within 4 days when his personal, freedom is threatened because he is not complying with Indian law, Twitter does not wishes to go to court against the law. And this is the problem, that you will not follow the law, you will not go to the court. But moment it comes to you or affection of your business, you are willing to move court in a very selective manner. Third, I think I heard the comments what was made by a CIA or FICCI spokesman. I think 5 organizations have written a letter to government, IMAI, FICCI and CIA, I guess. Saket, all of us know how industry bodies are performing today. NASSCOM, which was supposed to promote Indian products and Indian software companies and their child DSCI, today they have been batting for data globalization, not localization. Reason is that majority of the funding comes from big tech, Microsoft, Google and Facebook. So they are forced to take that stand. And it is with the same industry lobbies. You can take out the...
One moment. That's a very strong allegation, Jitin Jain. I hope you have this backed up with facts.
No allegation. You can take out the backdrop of 5 conferences, annual conferences of all these 3 bodies.
No, then be direct. Mr. Jitin Jain, be direct. What are you saying? Be direct. Let the allegation be direct. You are saying that the industry bodies are batting for Twitter. They are batting for Twitter because big tech is funding them. Is that your allegation?
Obviously, they are the biggest industry today. So industry bodies will speak in their favor. I mean, imagine NASSCOM and DSA are speaking against data localization. They are for data globalization.
Okay.
They are against data localization. Can you imagine this?
Now, how I wish we had a FICCI spokesperson here to be able to defend this argument, but since we don't, we'll give them an opportunity a little later.
संकेत जी, एक लाइन में आपसे पूछ लूं, आपको किसी ने बोला कि इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटीमेंट खराब हो जाएगा, लेट मी आस्क हाउ मच ट्विटर हैज इन्वेस्टेड इन इंडिया?
हाउ मच?
15 लाख का तो टैक्स किया नहीं, आप कौन से इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटीमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं? There is no investment, only money making. Tell me one million worth of investment made by Twitter here in India.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. See, this is your view, fair enough. But in all fairness, I wish for an argument that has been made right here, there would have been an industry spokesperson over here to be able to answer you. I can't because I don't represent India Inc. Professor Bhatt, very quickly, what are your views? What do you think? Eventually, as we are discussing, this matter is going to reach courts. Mr. Boparai feels that the governments are doing this because it suits you. It helps the central dispensation to rein in Twitter as well as other social media giants. That's the motive behind these rules.
Well, you see, ironically, the freedom of expression and transparency of social media has taken a beating. The way the big tech companies, especially in this respect, Twitter, they are trying to show their hegemony over the Indian laws. And this, while you are saying that in this court has given a relief, which Napinai ji has just mentioned, that it is just basically anticipatory.
No, the relief is that no coercive action can be taken.
But the fact remains is that Twitter is already in a legal case in the court where they have not complied with the changes which have been brought in the IT Act. What is it that they cannot appoint a resident grievance officer? They say we have appointed it, but it is actually a law firm, that too not based in India. I mean, how can you have a grievance officer or any individual or a company which is not even based in India when those who are going to ask for a redressal against a complaint are going to be people from India? Secondly, no chief compliance officer they have appointed till now. I mean, this is something which is not, is it asking for something very big, that when the government has made these changes in the IT Act and all others, there are other companies who have...
Adil Bopre has raised his hand.
And one example...
I'll come to you, Mr. God, in just a moment. But yeah, Professor, but one moment. Adil Bopre wants to counter.
Sanket,
You know, this
So
point
I want to just
on
give me 10 seconds, then he
delaying
can counter
the
me. I have no
appointment.
problem. Just give me. I want
Sure.
to put forth one particular case
Sure.
where the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights has put forth a request and asked the Twitter India that there are certain WhatsApp links which are there which basically have got pedophile contents, and there are adult websites who have Twitter handles as well as their website links over there. So there shouldn't be any, the children should not be allowed to access this, for which the Twitter India has replied to them that the content has been shared by Twitter America and they do not have much in common except that at some times they work
Sanket, can I come in?
But the fact remains is that
is
so the
going
point
One
is
moment, let
that
her come
foreign
in.
companies are very conveniently putting forth information in front of government bodies, government institutions.
Okay,
Which do
Adil
not
Bopre.
have, which
Adil,
is not
Adil,
what
please,
is
Adil,
approved.
please.
There are directors on Twitter
Sanket,
India who are trying
Sanket, can I come in, please, now?
Yes.
So-
One more, Professor,
so
but you
it
made
is-
your point. One moment. Adil Bopre
Sanket.
and then Mr. God. Yes.
Sanket, till a few years back, the BJP was able to harness social media to their advantage. Unfortunately, now the shoe's on the other foot, and hence the heartburning. As far as the constitutionality of these rules are concerned, of course, the Constitutional Court will decide. But the primary grievance of every right-thinking Indian is that why should Mr. Modi decide that the content is objectionable or not? We are not a police state. If there is content which is objectionable, the validity and the parameters have to be decided by an appropriate and a competent court of law. Narendra Modi or Mr. Adityanath cannot decide that, number one. Number two, every institution, whether it's media or it's Twitter, has the right to fact check. NDTV does fact checking, India Today does fact checking. So if Twitter, in pursuance of their complaints and their grievance redressal system, comes to a conclusion that a certain video is fabricated, they're well within their right to call it manipulated media. Hence, the reason why all this is happening all of a sudden is because the BJP's fabrication is...
No, Adil, here lies the difference that the government talks about. One moment. There is a basic difference between, you compared NDTV to Twitter, there is a basic difference. Mainstream media or other publications are not intermediaries. We are responsible
the
for
whole
what
crux of
you
our
say
debate.
of whatever goes on our channel or our platform. We have to we have to be responsible for it, and we
Well,
can
most
face the
certainly.
law.
Well, Sanket,
Whereas
most
Twitter
certainly,
cannot.
Similarly in Twitter, if somebody, let's assume for a moment, Adil Bopre posts something which is incendiary or which violates or infracts the law, then legal redressal can be taken against me. The reason why all this has been triggered is because the Twitter
But
platform...
isn't that exactly
through
what the
their
government
system,
is doing?
through
I
their
mean, just for
system,
argument's
came to a
sake, I want to
conclusion.
know from you. The government is saying exactly the same thing, that you don't be the judge, let the courts be the judge.
Then why should the government decide that the content is objectionable or not?
Fair
Let it
enough.
be
So
decided by the
Babu should not
magistrate.
decide. I can understand.
Unless the
See,
intermediary rules, it's the executive which will decide.
the rules have to be better drafted, seems to be the argument that Mr. Bopra is making. Ms. Napina, I am going to come back to you. Mr. God has not spoken. Yes, Kanish God. First of all, your view.
So we must understand that criminal liability is going too far. You know, if you're putting the MD behind the bars or putting a FIR against him for a company which is a social media giant, I think that's taken too far. You're compromising freedom of expression. It is going to impact the investor sentiment. And to answering to what Mr. Jiten Jain spoke, if you go back to what the founder of Twitter contributed to India, he has made contributions for the pandemic. You can go and check. Everything is open.
What is the amount?
He's made
Batayenge
contributions to so many.
How much?
He's made contributions in millions of dollars to
Are
Seva
you sure?
Bharti.
I challenge that statement. He did not contribute millions. And Ambani's Indian intelligence contributed more than 1,000 times. So contributions in charity, even, Satyam's Ramalinga Raju made much more contribution in hospitality before scamming people. So don't say that charitable contribution can evolve you from criminal liability and accountability
Okay, one
in the
moment.
constitution.
Let Mr.
Jiten,
God complete his
if you've got such an environment, who will come and invest and create jobs? Today,
How
lakhs
much-
of people
how
are
much
out of
Twitter has
job,
invested?
and you are
How much
putting
Twitter
a
has
India
invested?
company.
बताइए तो सही।
No,
Sir,
Jiten,
how
you're
much Twitter-
putting the MD of a company
Sir, how
behind
much
bars.
Twitter
Jiten,
has
one
invested?
moment. Let him complete,
Sir, how
please.
much Twitter has
No,
invested?
no
Bataiye to
heckling
sahi.
on air, please.
Jiten, you're putting the MD of a company behind bars. You're going behind him personally, right?
Come.
Who will join Twitter tomorrow? Who
will
will put in
Twitter
invest? Do you
behind
think
bars?
is the right environment that you're creating in the country? You are
No, but who is
basically
putting Twitter
hassling the
behind
large.
bars?
But you know, Mr. Gaur, conversely, if a company is not following the law, right, you can argue on what the law should be, right? But if you don't comply, that is also not a desirable situation. Tomorrow,
see,
any company will get up and say that I don't agree with these rules.
No, so they
I
have
won't
said
follow.
multiple times. They have said multiple times that they will comply to the law. They have asked for more time. They have told in midst of a pandemic, 3 months is not enough. They said they need 3 more months. And then you're saying they're not complying. Apart from Twitter, there are more companies. Why are we not talking about them? Why are we not talking about Signal? Signal is another company which is not complied. Who is talking about Signal here? Nobody is talking about Signal. Everybody is talking about Twitter. They are not discussing the issue which is at large. Everybody is just trying to corner this organization because they were probably late in terms of showing compliance to it. And let me tell you, it is not just only Twitter. Every large big tech firm has put up a lawyer. They have put up a third party. Nobody is trying to bring in criminal liability for their own employees. They will defend their employees and go and check for any other platform as well. This is exactly what they are doing. But why do you want to go after Twitter? Probably you want to bring them in line. You want to enforce your own directives. You want to control the media. That's what exactly is happening.
Okay, now Mr. Jain's right to reply very quickly, and then Ms. Napine.
Sir, Sanket ji, any investor who comes in your country to invest, first thing, even an ordinary 12th class pass person will verify is, sir, आपका office कहाँ पे है? Does Twitter have an office in India? No. Any serious investor in any country will first set up an office. They do not have an office. Any serious investor first will have one employee at least in a country. They do not have an employee today. Second, NDTV, any other channel, any other industry, automobile industry, which industry has stopped functioning and could not even hire one employee in 3 months. You can go to court, you can give ads, you can come on air, you can go to parliamentary briefings, but you can't hire an employee and then give a reason of pandemic, that because of pandemic we can't apply. So kal NDTV bhi bolega, sorry boss, our editors will stop functioning, we'll do whatever we want because it's pandemic. I mean, give some serious arguments. Say that we do not want to comply because the law is not right. We feel it is not.
Okay. Mr. Gaur, before you reply, Ms. Napine is waiting for a very long time.
Yeah, let me
get
just
her
finish.
view
There
first.
is a
I'll
job
come back.
posting which is live. Yeah,
Ms.
there is a
Napine.
job posting which is live. You can check.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
See, I just wanted to make two very simple points here. You break a signal, chances are there'll be many other cars who will be either ahead of you or behind you who would have also broken the signal. You can't give the excuse, why did you not catch the others? Why are you only catching me? Nor can you claim that because you didn't catch the others, you can't hold me liable. If you have broken the signal, you're liable for your breach and that's it. Too bad that one person only got caught and not 10. You know, that cannot be a ground for an excuse. The issue that was raised about, some X person or Y person, be it the Prime Minister or whoever, who's deciding what should be posted or not, if that is the case, then that may be a ground for protest. But that's not the case here. The law says, and I'm not a flag bearer for any political party or a political position, but I'm purely sticking to the word, letter and spirit of law here. And the law says, if you haven't complied, then you lose the protection. A protection is not the norm. It is an exception. So when you're given an exceptional right or entitlement here, that comes with strings. And those strings include criminal prosecution if you violate certain rules. The loss of exemption by itself does not make you a criminal.
Sure. Okay.
It is only when a criminal act happens on your platform and you have not complied with the rule of law with respect to that act that you are also
No, but then there will
liable.
always be this fear of witch hunt, like was the fear in this particular case.
We will always have a fear, but that cannot be a ground to throw away.
Sure. Very quickly,
a law
Mr.
which is
Gaur,
meant
once
to
again. I'm running out of
protect
time.
you, sir.
Now, again, how do you expect, in the era of social media, so many tweets, for a company which has, Mr. Jiten claims, not even one employee, to control so much amount of text messages and classify them as fabricated and classify them as fake or false. You require to give them time. You require
on this, but that is not
But you
what
don't
the
have
law
to do
asks you to do. When an order has been issued, flagging a particular message as illegal, when a court order is issued flagging a message as illegal,
Then
that
take the
is
action.
when law kicks in
Yes.
to take away your exemption. If you haven't taken it down within 36 hours, again, Sanket, everybody is missing the point that this was the law before the 2021 guidelines.
Okay.
Even under the 2011 intermediary
so you're saying
guidelines,
this was
takedown
always
within
the law.
36 hours
Okay.
was the law.
Okay, I've completely run out of time. I've completely run out of time. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is an important issue. Many people would argue that no, there's no investor sentiment. You've got to follow the law, have the guardrails, but at the same time, you have to make sure that you're not unjust in the process. And of course, there'll be people to question the motive. That's a wrap in this edition of Trending Tonight. News continues on the other side. Stay with us.